I was riding my Harley Davidson on a beautiful spring day in the Mojave Desert. We were all met up with a bunch of friends at this new saloon in Morongo Valley at the time. There was about 30 of us or so, and we went there and ordered everything on the menu to check everything out, and it was just a nice day. It was in April of 2013. And about 3 o'clock or so, I decided to just mosey on home. And when I did, I was riding up the road, and I thought I had swallowed a bee, and a bee stung my throat. But that I didn't swallow a bee. I mean, you kind of know if your mouth's open, but my throat just kind of imploded, and didn't know what that was all about. I was almost home, probably about 5 miles. And I got home and didn't really think much of it other than I was getting sick with something. So I took some melatonin and some vitamin C, about 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C and 3 milligrams of melatonin, and went to sleep and woke up the next morning and thinking I was just going to be fine. And so I get back on my bike and I'm going to go get some breakfast, and I ended up at this coffee shop about 10 miles down the road and ordered my breakfast, and I just wasn't feeling too good. And the waitress came up to me and she said, you ain't looking too good. And I said, I ain't feeling too good either. And so I just canceled my order and I took off, and I paid for it and gave her a tip and left. And I got on my bike and I could barely hold my bars. So I got home barely, and I was really hurting, and so I took another dose of melatonin and vitamin C, and this time I just made it a little bit more. So I went 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C this time, and 6 milligrams of melatonin, and knocked myself out, and figured I'd be okay when I woke up. Well, to my surprise, when I woke up, I was in so much pain I can hardly talk. I couldn't. It was. I don't even know how. I didn't want to call the ambulance at the time, so I called a friend to come pick me up and take me to the hospital. And he says, "Man, I can't pick you up." And I said, "Just help me to the truck and get me to the hospital, please." So by the time he comes and picks me up, I was in real bad shape. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't talk. By the time he got me to the hospital, I was going into cardiac arrest. I didn't really know what was going on other than I was in so much pain. I just wanted to be put out of my misery, and they wouldn't give me anything until I could talk to the doctor. So they ended up putting me in a machine to check me out, and they found a big tumor on my heart. And then they strapped me down and held me down and took about 10 cc's of black fluid out of this tumor here. Put the needle right through my clavicle down here and got it right here. So anyway, they said it wasn't cancer. They just said, hey, you got a tumor and you got a lung infection. And so I stayed 9 days in the hospital on oxygen and pumped me full of steroids and antibiotics. And they told me I can leave as soon as I can walk around the hospital without an oxygen tube, and my O2 level would be 95. So that took 9 days to do that. And when I did that, they let me go, but I still had to have oxygen at the house for another 3 months. And so I didn't know anything about anything. But anyway, when they did let me go, they said, hey, you need to come back and see an oncologist in 6 months. And I said, well, why do I need to come back and see an oncologist when you said I don't have cancer? Oh, just to be safe and, precaution. Okay, fine. So anyway, I didn't think anything about, I didn't have cancer. They said I didn't have cancer. I just had a tumor on my heart and a lung infection. So, of course, I'm scared. I was scared. It definitely scared me. So what do? I don't know much about nutrition. I don't know much about stuff other than I know how to work out. I know how to not drink. This is at this time in my life. My way of being healthy was just don't drink alcohol and go to the gym and eat calories and build muscle. That's it. That's all I ever knew, and that's all I did. So I did that. I did that before I came back and saw the oncologist. And so when I came back to see the oncologist, I was all ripped up and buff, and they're looking at me like, what are you here for? I said, well, I got a tumor on my heart, and we need to address that. And it's not cancerous, but we still need to address the tumor. So, so this was all started in Joshua Tree, the first time. 9 days in the hospitals at Joshua Tree, High Desert Medical Center. I took the second trip and went down to Desert Regional and had them pull a tissue biopsy out of this thing. When they did that, Thanksgiving of 2013, just before, the Wednesday before, and then the following Monday after that, they called me up in a frenzy and said, you need to get in here. We need to talk to you immediately. Oh, just tell me over the phone. And they wouldn't tell me over the phone. So I come down there and I was in my gym clothes. I was at the gym when I got the phone call. And I was all ripped and buff and looking good. And same doctors that were telling me that, hey, you don't have cancer. Look at you, how healthy you are the same doctors that said, you are riddled with cancer, stage 4 lymphoma and stage 4 thyroid, and you have about maybe 3 to 5 years left to live on this earth. Whoa, was that hardcore? I was only 41 years old, and I felt great, I thought. Anyway, I took that really difficult. It was really hard to pull that one together for a while. But I will tell you that during all these hardness and all the hard decisions, hard road, hard everything, I accepted death. I got my funeral ready. I gave everything away so my children wouldn't have to deal with a bunch of stuff around here. And I was at peace and ready to go. And then I found out, well, when I went holistic ways, I went organic after the radiation. I got so sick. That's what made me go that way. I was doing everything the doctors told me. The iodine diet for the radiation pill, I was really good. Everything they said. The surgery, I complied, did it. And I was scared. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. It wasn't until I started getting better that I started learning, well, you know what? I guess this natural stuff worked, because I didn't realize, really what I was doing. I just knew I wasn't going to do that again. I didn't know really where I was going. I just knew I wasn't going that way. So anyway, here I am, 12 years later. I'm still here. I'm still in the fight. But I'm feeling pretty good, and I hope that I can help other people feel good and other patients get here, because I will show you some pictures of me. I didn't always look like this. For 5 years, I was really in bad shape. I couldn't work or do anything. My wife had to do everything, including dress me. And to this day, she still continues to do a whole lot. Anyway, I really want to reach out to the patients out there that are really going through the struggles, that are really losing hope and thinking that it's just, there's nothing you can do. Well, I'm here to tell you that please stay strong and find hope, and know that just because you're told one thing doesn't make it true. Just because one person says one thing doesn't mean it's going to happen, There was many doctors that told me that I was going to die if I didn't listen to them. And I said, okay, I'm cool. I'll go do that. I defied what they said. This is after I took radiation, after I got really sick from that pill, from the radiation pill. Then I started paying attention to everything, because I just didn't think that a treatment should make you 1,000 times sicker to get better. Anyway, so that's when I went. That was the last time I had taken a pill, and that was February 17th, 2014. Not even a Tylenol. Not even an Advil. Everything we need is on the earth already. We just got to find it. So anyway, I just I want to tell you that I had a death sentence in 2013. They told me I had a death sentence, and I'm here. And you can be here too, and you can beat this. You can beat this. Everybody out there, you have power within here. Anyway, I have a lot more to say, and I'll cut this this video short, and I'll be making a lot more, and just talking about all kinds of stuff all kinds of things we've known about and just discovered, and testimonials, and just so many things I want to share with everybody to give hope to the people who are really struggling out there, especially the people that don't have family support. I know how that is. It makes it even harder. If you have family members that are hard on you and don't help you, and don't understand what you're going through and stuff, so it makes it hard. And I'm one of those guys. I'll tell you right now, I don't have much family that stands behind what I'm doing. And I remember, and I'll tell you right now, after the surgery at City of Hope, and I had a 13-hour cut on my neck. After all that, and when I told some of my family members, hey, I'm going the other way, I'm not doing this, and I need help, and I need a bunch of money, because everything that I'm doing is cash. And you know what? I got zero response, and I was told, you can't do that, and you shouldn't do that, and you should listen to the doctors, and you better not do that. And I went, okay. I started a GoFundMe account even in 2000, I think it was 14 or something like that. Stacy did. And only 2 people responded and donated money. One person I've never even met. It's actually one of Stacy's friends from the old days. And the other person that donated was actually my brother's, I don't know what you want to call it, his ex lady. She donated too. And that was it. So that's how much support I got when I said, I'm going to go the holistic way. That was 11 years ago. So anyway, here I am now. Holistic, natural, still here, and thriving, and still fighting, still in the battle. I'll be in the battle the rest of my life. It's a chronic disease, and every patient out there should know that. You don't just get rid of cancer and then suddenly go back to your old ways. It doesn't work that way. So anyway, I'm here to let the world know that there's another way. There's always another way. And you can find it. You can become your own healer. You can become your own fixer. And just remember, take your shoes off, touch the earth as much as you can to get your grounding in. And that's all about your electrical system. Very, very good for healing, and it gets your circuits back. You wouldn't build your house without ground. You wouldn't plug in your your water heater or your electric stove, which is 220 volts. You wouldn't put that in the wall without ground, because it might catch a fire or something. Well, what about us? And what about our human bodies? What about you? What about your electrical system? Ground is absolutely important. And we've all been disconnected pretty much since rubber soles came out in the 50s. Before that, we were all leather sole, still connected to the earth. Anyway, something to think about, y'all. touch the earth, get your good breathing in, meditation, get some sunshine in your eyeballs to get that pineal gland lit up. Drink good water, be hydrated. Make sure you got your salt. And just live good, eat good, think good. And, and just know, if you ever need to talk, or if there's anything I can ever do within my means with anybody, please reach out. Because that's the only reason I'm here. Because I'll let you know, we're all only here for just a moment. I had a near-death experience at the City of Hope in 2014, and my heart stopped for 5 minutes. And what the experience was so amazing, it's hard to even say it. And I believe that every one of us sees that. And I don't think it matters what religion you are. I just don't think so. I think there's 300 religions or something like that on this planet, and they all think they're right, every one of them. Kind of a trip, like, okay, so is that true? Does each religion have their own destiny? I don't know. What I saw and what I felt and the mysteries that you read about and stuff, it's pretty flippin' amazing, I'll just tell you that. And I can't wait to do it again. So until then, though, I'm going to hang out on this rock, cruise around this rock in this meat skeleton, because that's all we are, is spirit and body riding this planet in a meat skeleton for just a moment. And then we'll be back over. So, my beautiful people, be good to yourself, love yourself, love your neighbors, and love life. And I love you. And we'll be talking soon.